Welcome again, Chef Ruben. Back to your kitchen.
Okay, thanks everybody for coming today. All right, so today we're doing a roast beef. We got potatoes and we got catalina vegetables. Now we're going to start off with the potatoes because potatoes take about 20 minutes.
Okay.
You just get your Ziploc bag, which I have a regular bag, and you're going to take 1/8 cup of oil. That's just regular oil.
Okay.
All right, and you're going to mix that around pretty good. Mix it around in your bag so it gets nice and coated.
Okay.
Once you got it nice and coated, then you're going to take some Hidden Valley Ranch.
Woo!
The dressing, the powder form.
Okay, that's in the powder form.
You're going to pour that in.
About how much of that is there?
That is half of a bag of
a half of the little packet?
Yes. So.
And you got the red potatoes in there already cut up. About how many red potatoes
is that? This is 1 pound of red potatoes.
Okay.
All right, you mix that around pretty good. All right, so we're roasting these.
Okay.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our pan, we're going to take a little bit of oil, a little bit of pan spray, spray it on there like that. That's going to help to keep it from sticking along with the oil we got. You're going to pour these out on there. All right, spread them out a little bit. Take them, your oven should be on 350.
On 350. This looks pretty good, guys. He's got it spread out.
All right, so we'll just take it, put it in the oven.
At 350?
At 350, and we're going to go about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, and so now that's going, here's what I got for you. I'm going to tell you about the roast beef. Now, the roast beef, I had to cook it earlier because it takes a little while to cook. But all you're doing with the roast beef is you got on your menu, it's going to say maybe a 3.5 pound. Only did a 1 pound roast.
Okay.
Now, the deal with that is you're going to put some garlic in it. So you're going to take your roast beef and you're going to take a knife and you're going to put some holes in it.
Okay.
And you're going to stick your garlic cloves in it. You need about 3 or 4 garlic cloves.
Whole garlic cloves, or do you crush it and then stick it in?
Just press it inside.
Okay.
Cut the hole. Put you some oil on it. Oil is about the same that I just used, maybe about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Or
1/8 of a cup?
No.
Oh, 1/8 of a teaspoon. Yeah. Very little. Okay.
Yeah, very little. You just rub it on there.
Okay.
All right, then you're going to put you some salt and pepper on there.
Okay.
All right, if you got a non-stick pan, then that's fine. I usually use a sheet pan like such.
All right.
I'll just put it in the middle, put it in the oven at the same temperature that this is on, at 350.
Okay.
And then you let it go for about 30 minutes. Once it's cooked for about 30 minutes, cut that down to 225.
Okay.
Cut down to 225, you just let it roast. It's going to take 1.5 hours, or maybe 2 hours, depending on what size your roast beef is.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to have to keep an eye on it after a while because you don't want it to overcook or nothing.
Okay.
So it depends on if you want it rare, if you want it medium rare, if you want it well done.
Okay.
So that you have to time yourself.
And are you checking it with like a meat thermometer to see where you're at, or?
135. Then that's pretty good. That's where you about want it to be at. Okay, so
135.
About 135.
Okay.
All roasts are not the same because you can get some that's thin, you can get some that's thicker. So the cooking temperature and the cooking time is going to vary.
Okay.
So you have to keep an eye on that. All right, well, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to what I think all of you would really like to see. Is the cherry pie.
That's my favorite.
So we got the cherry pie going, which is 2 15-ounce cans of cherries. All right, so then we're going to take 3/4 cups of sugar. We're going to put that into there. And we got 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Okay.
All right. And then we got 2 ounces of cornstarch.
Okay.
Now the cornstarch is going to change the color. It's going to make it look really weird to you. But once it cooks,
Oh, it is kind of, it turns kind of brown.
that's going to be more of a pinkish color.
Or more of a pinkish, okay. Well, it was looking brown around the edges from here, but I can see it turning pink now.
Okay, now you can pick you up some crust from H-E-B, a 9-inch crust, and the pie dough lids, which is a sheet cover that
Okay.
you put on your pie. That's the simplest way, unless you want to make your crust.
All right.
All right, so we got that.
I'll go the simple route.
We got that mixed up pretty good. All right.
Okay, we've got the,
All right, so we just take the pie crust and we'll take the filling here and just put it inside. This is pretty simple.
okay. It does seem pretty simple.
It really is. All right, give away my secret.
In my house, I usually leave the pie bacon to my husband, but I could handle this. I could do this.
Yeah.
All right, so then you take your top crust here. Once again, you can get this at H-E-B or any store that you choose. All right, so we're just going to put it on top. And I don't even use you know how a lot of people use a fork or something to crank it around the edges. I don't. I just use my fingers to wrap it up.
I think it looks prettier when you use your fingers as opposed to a fork. You have all those little tiny
Yeah, I know what you're
lines going around in it.
saying. All right, then take a knife and just cut the edges off.
Now, what if you wanted to make it like a lattice top? Could you cut the
Well,
dough
yeah,
and
you
lay
can
it
cut the
across
dough
that
and
way?
lay it across. You most definitely can. I have done that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find that it's okay to do it that way. But if you want to hurry and you want the pie done pretty quick,
Then we're gonna do it this way.
do it this way. All right, so then you want to cut slits in it. One slit in each direction, north, south, east, west.
Okay, and how long are those slits? About an inch, inch and a half,
Okay.
maybe?
Yeah, they're about 1.5 inches.
Okay.
Okay, so then once we got that done, all right, we're gonna have to take 1 ounce of sugar, 1 egg. This is 1 whole egg. And you're gonna take 1 ounce of vegetable oil. All right, put that in, and you're gonna mix that together. Okay, just mix it up really good. And this is gonna be your egg water.
Okay. So it makes that top taste so good.
It gives it that color, right?
Yes, it gives it that shine, that sheen. All right, so we're gonna take a pan. And we're gonna place that pie on this pan. That's just protective reasons. You don't want to spill it over in the oven.
Okay.
All right, so then you just take it and you brush it like you're Picasso.
It's gonna look so pretty you'll want to hang it on the wall instead of eating it.
All right, so once again, this is going to cook in the oven at 350 for 35 minutes. 350 for 35 minutes.
Okay.
All right, so you can see we got something in the oven at 350 already. All right.
$35, that seems like a pretty quick,
Yeah.
pretty fast cook time. That's good.
Yeah, it's cornstarch actually helps.
Okay, thicking it up.
Yeah. All right, so we'll let that go. Now, next thing we got is our catalina vegetables. All right, so you want about 2 cups of water. Let that come to a boil.
Okay.
And what we got here, mine's is double from what yours will see. When you see what you got for the ingredient wise,
Okay.
this one's going to be double.
Okay.
All right, I gave you half a cup, but I'm going to use a cup of each.
All right.
All right, and
so kind of for folks, it just depends on how many people you're serving, right? And you can just cut it in half, double it up.
okay, so first thing I want to do once it starts boiling is I'm going to add the carrots.
All right.
But before we do that, we're going to put some butter in, which is, come out of there, all right, which is 2 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
Okay? Now we're going to let that boil a little bit. 2 tablespoons of butter. Working out pretty good.
Working out good, huh?
Working out pretty good. Okay. We're going to go ahead and first thing we're going to do, because it takes longer, is your carrots.
Okay.
All right, so we got 1 cup of carrots. All right, so we'll get it just a little bit of time.
Let those soften up a little bit.
We're also going to have 1 cup of green beans.
Okay.
And we're going to have 1 cup of broccoli.
Sounds good.
Okay. We also got 3/4 of a cup, which yours will probably say 2 tablespoons
Okay.
of red bell pepper.
Okay.
All right. You want to cut these up, the bell pepper. You want to cut them in slices, but then cut them into thirds, man.
Okay.
You want them diced up really fine, that's fine, but
Can you show us like one of them so we can see about how big it is?
I prefer they being about
That size?
this size, which is about 1 inch,
Okay.
1.5 inches. Okay, so now we're boiling pretty good. So we're going to put our green beans in. All right, we're going to let that come back to a boil again.
Okay.
It shouldn't take that long.
This looks like it's going to make a really nice and bright veggie side dish with the green and the orange and the red. And
Okay, now on yours, I don't have salt on there. That's because I want you to season it to your taste.
all right.
All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of salt. All right, so we're boiling again. All right, so we're going to put the broccoli in, and we're going to put the red bell pepper in.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so we'll mix that in pretty good. All right, so we're going to let that boil. Now, while that's boiling, let's see where we are on our All right, we still got 7 minutes on the potato.
Okay.
All right, so we're hanging in there.
We're hanging in there. Now on the roast, so you're doing a 1 pound today, but the recipe was like 3 to 3.5 pounds.
Yeah.
And so you said you put it in at 350 for 30 minutes and then drop it to 250 or to 225.
Yeah.
So does it matter the size of the roast, how long, or is it always going to be 30 minutes at 350 and then you drop it and you're cooking longer?
If you're letting it brown on top.
Okay.
And once you got it, the distinct color that you want, you lower it down to 225. And then that's when
and then your time will just determine it on the weight of your roast.
So it won't
Gotcha.
turn it, won't turn it ugly on.
Okay.
All right, so along with this roast, now you can find it at HEB, just a dry gravy packet, a brown gravy or whatever.
Okay.
Usually just mix water with those, which turns out to be pretty good.
All right.
We use gravy packets here, actually, sometimes. Sometimes we make our gravy. Not to get them mistaken with not having our gravy packets. So we use gravy packets also.
Well, when you're cooking for as many people as you cook for on a daily basis, when we're at during normal operations in the kitchen, it's probably easier to use some packets and things like that just for.
Well, yeah, but you know what? The cost factor, it's about the same.
Really?
Actually, yeah. So if you go to a store and you buy 89-cent packet of gravy or something like that, then it's about the same to make it at home.
As it is to make it.
Yeah. So it equals out.
What about time savings?
Huh?
What about time savings? Is it faster to make it from a packet or from homemade?
If you're skilled enough, it's about the same amount of time because you know what you need, you know what you're putting in it,
and where you're going with it.
Where you're going with it, so it's pretty simple. To make it from scratch, we use flour, a little bit of beef base, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder.
Okay.
And we mix that around a little bit, and then we make a roux. And when we make the roux, we make a blood roux. So once that part is heated up with some water, you put your blood roux in it, it thickens up, and it's done.
Go. Sounds good. We had a question come in for you on the green beans. Were those fresh or canned green beans?
These were actually a frozen green bean.
Okay, frozen green beans.
So was the broccoli and the carrot.
Okay, frozen veggies. That's what we used here today.
Okay, so that's done. That's all you're doing. You want it to stay out dente. You don't really want it to get overcooked and it's
Mushy.
Mushy looking vegetable. Okay. All right, and through the magic of TV. All right, so our roasted potatoes are done. Okay, so.
Woo, those look good. Get the cutting board back.
All right. So remember I told you about the roast.
Yes.
So we're going to pull the roast out.
Now, do you let the roast rest for a while before you cut it?
Yeah, rest for about 20 minutes before cutting.
That looks so good.
Oh, it does. It looks delicious.
Right, now remember, you can cook it to what temperature you desire, but here we have to make sure that it's not red.
Okay. Is that for health safety because of the amount of time it takes with delivery and things like that, or?
Yeah, and I wouldn't imagine a lot of our clients want the red either.
Yeah.
We might get a couple of calls saying it's not done.
Oh, we don't want that.
Okay, now remember I was telling you about the gravy packet. You could just buy your gravy packet.
Okay. Well, this just looks delicious.
All right, so our vegetable should be ready.
That's a pretty hearty plate of food.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so our vegetables and our meat and our potatoes are done. Now, and through the magic of TV once again.
These ovens cook faster than anybody's.
We have our.
Ooh.
Okay, so we're gonna see what that's like to cut that.
That's what I'm excited for, that cherry pie.
I think everybody's excited about cherry pie. Look at how nice and golden the top turned out. Now, when you so the cherry pie's baking for 35 minutes at 350.
Yeah.
How long do you usually let that sit before you cut it?
For us, it's usually overnight.
Okay. So it has plenty of time to set.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to cool it.
Looks wonderful.
Oh, that's the other magic.
All right.
All right, so let's try it.
See what he's getting out of the magic fridge over here. Oh, yeah, that's happening.
All right, and so there we have it. There's our roast beef,
This looks fabulous.
catalina vegetables, and ranch potatoes with cherry pie.
Yum.
Okay, so if you like,
Woo! Now comes the fun part.
enjoy. Thank you once again for coming to lunch with me.
Thank you so much, Chef Ruben. We have so enjoyed this, and we can't wait to do it again.
All right.
We will have these recipes out to you guys, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and let us know. We hope that you'll join us in the next part of our series. Look for the dates to come.